Welcome to all of our first-time guests. We are honored that you are worshiping with us, whether in person or online. If this is your first visit, please let us know by going to www.newcov.org, clicking the Connect button, and then selecting Connect as a visitor. There you will view a short message from our pastors and give us brief contact information. We will only use that info to send you a personal thank you for being with us. With all the places you could worship, we are blessed that you chose New Covenant, and we hope you will come again.
My most memorable moment with Pastor Bill and Dr. Deanne was when God gave them the vision to plant another church in Covington. And in 2009, he asked that all hands be on deck. And so by us coming from New Orleans and help planting a church, that it was no brainer to go out and start out there, since we lived out that way. In 2009 in January we started, and in 2013 was our last service in a hotel, and God blessed us with a building not too far from there. And in May 5th we had our first service in 2010, and when we started, and it's been a beautiful thing to see what God has been doing out there in Covington at the second location.
One of my most memorable moments with Apostle Bill and Dr. D needs a bit of a backstory. Some years ago, at worship team rehearsal, we had a long discussion about the care of microphones. The following Wednesday night at Bible study, one of the members was handed the mic to give her testimony. At the end of her testimony, she threw the mic on the floor. Apostle Bill was standing next to her, and his face was priceless and a bit scary. Some years later, towards the end of a Sunday service, after singing with the worship team, my mic was placed in the chair. It was still on. The mic rolled to the floor, and he heard it. He looked in my direction and asked what that was, and I explained. A few moments later, after I had placed the mic back into the chair, it rolled out again, and he turned to me and asked me if I needed some attention. I replied to him, no. I was very afraid because I thought I was going to get a whooping in front of the congregation. What ended up happening was a spontaneous spirit-led offering for me and my family.
Well, as I think about our most memorable moment, I guess I'll look a long way back. Shortly after we came to New Covenant, we had the honor of participating in a banquet and a dinner down at the World Congress Center with our pastors. And the musical guest was Darren Hobbs. So we had a great time participating in that and got to interact with our pastors. So to me, that's a memorable moment for us as a couple.
My most memorable moment with Pastor Bill and Dr. D was a few years ago. I had some major health issues, and they came to visit me in the hospital, and just their sincerity, their honesty, it was just something that you just don't get from anybody, and it was something that really made me want to just do well and get stronger each day, and I will never ever be able to repay them enough for that, because it just meant the world to me.
My most memorable moment with Apostle and Pastor D was actually, well, let me say it this way. A few years ago, Apostle was preaching, and he told about this instance where they were at home, and at night, and someone came backing down their driveway. And, you know, they wasn't expecting anybody. And so he said, "Peace, be still." Now, he wasn't talking about that scripture, right? So I was like, wow, that just really just been stuck with me. And it's been years. So, you know, I'm like, okay, how would you not want to follow a man who he had something for them just in case? You know, how would you not want to follow a righteous gangster like Apostle Bill Johnson? So that's my memorable moment.
I remember the first time we ever did a taping for some segments for a program that was going to be around Thanksgiving time. And so instead of being just here at the church, we decided to do some tapings of them at their home. and do some segments for the program there. And I remember how nice of a feeling it was, because it was the first time I had been around Pastor Bill and Dr. D outside of the church. And they were exactly the same as they were at the church. And I remember being so impressed of like, wow, okay, they're totally genuine, they're totally who they are, and they're the same, you know, at home or at the church. And that just gave me a really nice, comforting feeling. So that time with them really showed me that, you know, they are genuine folks, they are who they are, they're good people to the core, and I really appreciated knowing that, because that let me know that I was a part of something in terms of the New Covenant Christian Ministries family that was genuine and sincere and positive, and all of those things have been consistent from that time, you know, 19, 20 years ago, right up until today.
Happy anniversary, Pastor Bill and Dr. Deanne and New Covenant Christian Ministries. We thank God for our past and look forward to Him equipping us for the future.
Wow.